So Eurogamer is reporting on why Pokimane has left Twitch in preference for YouTube. This article is written by Ed Nightingale and it's titled, Pokimane leaves Twitch due to a rise in manosphere. Red pill. Bullshit. This seems absurd to me to say now, because there was a spike in that. What, years ago? I'd say the manosphere red pill bullshit has been on a downward trend for a while on Twitch. Especially with how a bunch of it has been evacuated onto Kick and Rumble and whatnot. Does she mean the chat? She probably means certain examples of streams by, let's say, Trainwrecks, Aiden Ross, people who were on Twitch but now aren't really. I don't know if they're even on Twitch at all anymore. I don't follow the greater Twitch landscape that much, but when I did, I could imagine her claiming that and it being accurate. There's no way it's so accurate now. Let's see what she says though. Imane, Imani, Pokimane. Her name isn't Imane Anus. Why isn't this big? Her name is Imane Anus. Imane Anus. Announced earlier this week she was leaving Twitch and has taken to her podcast to explain why. Imane Anus. Nice. In short, her exclusivity deal with the Amazon-owned streaming platform came to an end and Pokimane decided not to renew the contract. The end of an era, she posted on X, formerly Twitter. Twitch has been my home for a decade, but it's time to say thank you for all the memories. Yes, I saw this. It means Twitch, a platform derided for its lack of diversity. Whose fault is that? Black people have computers and iPhones. Brown people have computers and iPhones. Just start streaming. Ruin your life, chasing a fantasy. Just do it like the rest of us. It means Twitch, a platform derided for its lack of diversity, has just lost one of its most popular and high-profile female streamers, and on her podcast series Don't Tell Anyone, she detailed her concerns about the platform. Right. Okay, Twitch leak reveals streamer earnings and lack of diversity. The list is, of course, dominated by men. What do you mean, of course? Look, you can take that a few different ways. Do I even want to look at this? This is a 2021 article by the same guy. Is he going to acknowledge that women's income on Twitch tends to, even more than men on Twitch, come from outside of Twitch's inbuilt systems, such as bits and subs? Is it going to acknowledge that a Twitch leak isn't going to tell you how much they're earning from sponsorships? It's not going to tell you how much they're earning from stuff that they've promoted on Twitch. For instance, let's say OnlyFans, as an example. And that it's not actually going to give you the full picture of how much they're making off of their career, just how much they're making specifically on that platform. And I think, depending on how the platform is used, that can make how much they're making on the platform much less relevant, and it makes it an apples to oranges comparison if you're going to compare different types of streamers who use the platform differently. Anyway. You've subbed to me for 2 years, that's big money? That is fucking crazy, to be honest. What is that? That's like $120? Maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less, depending on where you are. That's a ton to give me that much for fucking around on the internet, to be honest. I get that you're joking and being like, oh, I've made him rich. But that is a ton for what I do from one person, right? Right. A podcast series, Don't Tell Anyone. Here we go. I might check the source directly. I might skip around on this to hear what she says to see if this guy missed anything. Fair warning. Fair warning. Pokimane first noted that Twitch no longer signs exclusivity deals like it used to, meaning she has more room for growth if she no longer streams exclusively on the platform. She is grateful, though, for the contract she has had with Twitch. Hello, this is the reason. Hello, this is the reason. This is the reason. Further, she lamented the male-dominated community, stating Twitch has regressed a lot, especially with the rise of so much manosphere, red pill bullshit. I feel like that stuff has flourished within the male-dominated live streaming sphere. It'll be interesting. If she wants to be in the context of female creators, on YouTube that means stuff like the makeup community. who I think are vastly more vicious than the most nasty of male streamers on Twitch. Also, to suggest that the stuff she's saying has flourished on Twitch, what has flourished on Twitch that is less on other platforms? I don't think that is a thing. What could she mean here that is a major problem on on Twitch, but is less of a problem elsewhere? Granted, this article could be smashing together multiple things she said. So it says further she lamented the male-dominated community, stating Twitch has regressed a lot. But then in the next sentence that they're quoting, she's referring to the male-dominated live streaming sphere. Does she mean all the live streaming, or is she talking specifically about Twitch? I think the article's being unclear there, and it may have misrepresented her as talking specifically about Twitch when she's not. But then why would that be a reason for her to leave Twitch? I don't know. Who knows? During the pandemic, there were so many people watching, streaming, and caring about games, she said. There were so many more girls. There was such diversity in the demographic. And I felt so much more seen and heard. And I was like, wow, this is what I've always wanted for streaming. Sorry, you need another pandemic. Sorry, you're saying all these people you wanted to watch you came and watched you. And what, they went away again? Guess what? That means they didn't like you. Or they don't have time for it now. So you need another pandemic to get them watching you again. What do you mean? What is this comment? That's what every big Twitch streamer is complaining about. It isn't. Big Twitch streamers are going to complain about the drop in the COVID boom was real, especially if you're big. People complain about raw views. Pokimane is complaining about demographic change here as a result of that. I have no idea if that's true or not. But if she's losing specifically women, doesn't that mean they don't want to watch her? Now, however, she's disappointed to see the community relish, almost, in this shit. It's hard for me to exist in an industry and community and watch that shit happen and act like it's no big deal. To see it be normalized. The kind of bigotry and shit spewing and just so much stuff that I frankly don't agree with. Like what? Does she say in the podcast, and this guy's decided not to quote a specific example? And on Twitch is cleaner than ever. I mean, in some ways it's cleaner than ever, in some ways it's not. I feel like no-no words have been loosened on Twitch a bit. But in terms of red pill, Twitch is cleaner than ever and stricter than ever on that stuff, I think. And while she saw appealing to more men as the only way to become more successful, she said, there's no point expressing your opinion to people that you're never gonna change anyways. What opinions does Pokimane express? I don't think I've ever heard her express one, except calling people poor for, disdain towards people who don't give her money. Pokimane also described Twitch as messy, citing recent examples like the sexual content and attire updates and the way the company often backtracks on changes. She wished... Pokimane says anthro cartoon cock rights. I can't believe they backtracked on allowing cocks everywhere. She wished that Amazon would take a stronger lead in improving the infrastructure of the company. My experience with YouTube live streaming is limited. My experience with YouTube as a video platform suggests to me that it probably ain't much better than Twitch in those terms. She also called out Twitch for its lack of safety for minorities. How many have died? What do you mean? Lack of safety for minorities and the prevalence of harassment and stalking due to a lack of IP bans. They're public video feeds. You're live on Twitch. You have tens of thousands of viewers. Anyone is free to look at it. Watching your stream cannot be considered stalking. Looking at your public socials cannot be considered stalking. IP bans don't stop stalking. Twitch's priority is making money, she said. My priority is making a cool, safe environment and community for many, many, many people. Is Pokimane's viewership going down? This is normally what people say when their viewership starts going down. I think there are a lot of problems that minorities on Twitch still face. Minorities on Twitch. Did you say that? Like, there are a lot of problems that black people in America face. There are a lot of problems that minorities on video game streaming platform Twitch still face. And I wish they could do more about it. Twitch needs a Bill of Rights. We need to end slavery on Twitch. We need perforations. We need channel point reparations. I do think they try, and I appreciate that a ton. I really do give them credit for that. But girl, it's 2024. We still got so many of these damn problems. Like what though? We'll try and get to the point in her podcast where she talks about this. Like, does she name one? Now though, like what's being called harassment? I mean, stuff like when people would get botted and you'd have like a million accounts posting the N-word. Twitch implemented more systems to like automatically stop that and give you control over stopping mass interaction and stuff like that. So Twitch does do concrete things for that stuff. Indeed, she admitted she would still be on Twitch sometimes and still had a lot of love. I don't think YouTube has as many tools as Twitch does, but I haven't really looked. However, she won't be streaming on Kick due to it being funded by online crypto gambling websites that are not legal in a lot of countries that, in my opinion, are kind of shady. She has to use that qualifier because she can't say she's not gonna stream on there because Kick is funded by gambling. She can't just take an anti-gambling stance because then she'd have to also not stream on Twitch, who has sports partnerships that include connection to betting. I love that she has to be that specific. Pokimane leaving Twitch follows high-profile departures like Ludwig, Dr. Lupo, and Tim the Tatman in 2021. It's also the latest blow to the streaming platform after it laid off 500 employees last month. Is that a blow to the platform? CEO Dan Clancy admitted the company is not profitable. Yeah, we knew. Still, last week it introduced an expansion of its program for improved revenue share for streamers. That is true, it did. Based layoffs. Thank you. So this is an hour-long podcast of Pokimanes. We're not going to listen to this.
Hello, beautiful.
Let me...
I would be remiss not to mention the fact that it's clear to many people Twitch as a company is not very profitable. And when I say not very profitable...
It's clear to many people? The guy at the top explicitly stated that it's not making a profit.
I mean, not profitable at all. And their CEO has been very transparent about this.
Yes.
Even though they're owned by Amazon, they still have a very hard time actually making money off of the platform because...
What do you mean, even though they're owned by Amazon, they have a hard time making trouble? It's making money.
It costs so much to run. I know they had a lot of employees, although unfortunately they had a lot of layoffs recently too. All in all, they haven't found a path to profitability, and so 4 years...
Is YouTube profitable yet? I have no idea how to find this information quickly.
...into doing exclusive deals and spending millions on retaining content creators.
Is she going to mention that you can sort of look at Twitch as an ad for Amazon Web Services as well? I wonder if the picture changes if you start looking at money made from Twitch adjacent or related things that Amazon benefits from. If you start looking at the tech side of it and credit Twitch with some of that. But anyway,
they've decided
there's no way this gets into that.
To basically not doing any deals at all that are lucrative, at least. So they don't really do like exclusivity deals where they're just paying people to only stream on the platform. I could have potentially, I think, re-signed with them exclusively and had some other bonuses, whether that's better sub rates or better ad rates, or, you know, we will pay you this amount if you do XYZ. But very different numbers and very different details than the
Can you
typical
make this go
exclusivity
faster?
deals.
Is this how
However-
fast Pokimane talks on her stream? Dude, I could stream for 10 hours and say like a third of the stuff I say in a stream if I talked this slowly.
Frankly, months ago, I'd already personally decided I don't want to re-sign with Twitch, and I don't want to sign exclusively with any streaming platform. Okay? It's time
Yeah,
for
but what if they
me
offered her money?
to
What
be
if they offered
free
you a
as
bunch of money? What if they did though?
a
Are you sure?
bird. And frankly, if I were to tell you guys why, I
Stop
wouldn't
saying
even know where to
frankly.
start. And I don't know where to start, but
Here we go.
we're going to get through it one thing at a time. For starters, don't you guys think it's just time for me to be free? You know, it's like when you're in, oh God, I hate to
She's talking like a drunk older relative. She sounds like a wine aunt.
compare it to this, but I do sometimes feel like I've been in
Don't
a
you just think it's
long-term,
time for me to be
committed
free?
but toxic relationship with not Twitch as a company, but Twitch streaming and sometimes like the industry as a whole. And I feel like it's just time for me to explore new avenues, okay? So we talked about point number one, which is that the deals aren't even like they were before, okay? But the emotional and personal reasons for why I didn't want to re-sign with them and I don't want to sign with anyone else is just that I don't feel the same way about Twitch and Twitch streaming.
What about streaming as a whole? You said what about not signing with anywhere else either?
That I did 8 years ago or 4 years ago or maybe even 2 years ago. Part of that is, as I said, in my, hey, I'm going to explore new things, what's next for me kind of YouTube video.
Yeah, but what if a platform rules and then they offer you a ton of
I've
money?
been there, done that.
Come on.
With the majority of Twitch-related things, and I'm someone who gets very excited about stuff, who loves to work hard, who loves to burn herself out. Stupid.
Was that like a Nicki Minaj impression? Was she doing like black voice?
But mainly when I am really excited about something, and oftentimes that is something new. And I just don't see the Twitch scene developing more, or at least developing in the direction that I would like for it to. I think for many, many, many years it did, namely the Fortnite era and the Among Us era. Throughout almost
the
my
Among
whole
Us
Twitch
era.
career,
Please don't talk about these like they're periods in Japanese history. Stop.
I was so excited to see streaming and Twitch streaming in particular become more and more mainstream, and I loved seeing that development year over year. And even though there were some things within the industry that I really didn't like, I kept thinking to myself, it's okay because we're gonna grow out of it.
Do you want to know the true evolution into true mainstream? When the biggest streamer... You'll know when streaming has hit true normie mainstream. It will be when all of the top streamers are mobile game exclusive streamers. And it will have the highest viewership of any streams in history. That's when you know its potential reached. I don't think that's a good thing, though.
It's okay because things are improving and getting better with time. And they did, and they did, and they did, until COVID happened and the industry really boomed. And frankly, it became a little bit overvalued because during the pandemic, everybody was at home. So many more people were watching live streams.
Do people listen to this and go, damn, she's right, I never thought about that?
That the valuation for Twitch-related things, including these contracts that streamers were getting, like myself, they were becoming a little bit overvalued. And now, honestly, all of these industries have gone down, 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 down since that time. And so the valuations are adjusting a lot. But for me, it's not just about the money or the valuations. For me, what really sucked was
Here we
I
go.
feel like I saw the scene and the industry grow in
Oh
the
no.
direction that I really wanted it to. And during the pandemic, there were so many people watching streaming and caring about games. There were so many more girls. There was such diversity in the demographic. And I
The proportion that were female increased drastically. Can we check this? Is this true?
felt so much more seen and heard. And I was like, wow, this is what I've always wanted for streaming. And if you see Twitch and streaming nowadays, it's really almost nothing like how it was back then. Or frankly,
Right.
I feel like it has regressed a lot.
Where did they go, though? You might have... Let's say everything she's saying is true. Why did they all disappear? How much could they have liked you? Maybe you just don't appeal to women. Back to work? Not fucking all of them. A disproportionate increase in female audience, and then you lose all of that.
And I think that's the biggest reason why I have a hard time wanting to devote all of my time and all of my energy to just streaming. I was like, if right now, today, it was like how it was during the pandemic, I would still probably be streaming full time. And
Is COVID a lot of people's Gamergate? Is COVID the streamers' Gamergate?
be so excited about all of it. But I'm going to say something that might get me in some trouble, but I'm going to say it anyways because it's
We're gonna
how I
get Trump
feel.
to tweet out
So,
COVID
or
20's
at
coming.
least this is my personal perspective and my personal experience with the industry. So as I said, I thought it progressed and got so much better and cooler throughout the pandemic, and there was such an influx of different communities and it being more mainstream and more understood.
An influx of different communities. I don't know what she's talking about. What does that mean?
And blah, 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 blah. But for the last couple of years, is it just me? Or yeah, do you guys also feel like it has regressed a lot? And especially with the rise of so much manosphere, red pill bullshit.
No, that shit spiked a while ago and it's been dropping on Twitch and moving elsewhere. It's already moved with quite a clean cut for a lot of people elsewhere, like the kick. No, that stuff isn't going up on Twitch. Like, what is she talking about? Name someone right now. Yeah, I want to say it spiked. During these years she's saying we're amazing. That is when it spiked, right?
That stuff has flourished within the male-dominated life.
Esoteric? I'm sorry, that's retarded. Kick uses Amazon Web Services to stream. When Twitch dies, so does it. No. Amazon Web Services aren't dependent on Twitch.
Live streaming sphere of things. And I mean, I can't be surprised, right? It's the online demographic that skews male the most. So of course, manosphere stuff would kind of quote unquote perform better there. And you guys already know who and what I'm talking about. Okay, don't make me get into the details. But it was just really disappointing to see this community and industry that I have so much love for relish almost in this shit. And
In what shit?
so many of the things that I see, like figureheads of my industry,
Like
the
who?
most popular and well-established, typically male creators,
Name.
some of the stuff I see them say and
Quote and name.
do breaks my heart. And it's hard for me to exist in an industry and community and watch that shit happen and act like it's no big deal.
You're acting like it's no big deal right now by just vaguely alluding to it and not quoting and naming. Quote and name.
And to see it be normalized, the kind of bigotry and shit spewing and just so much stuff that I frankly like I just don't agree with it. And I know you're gonna say, okay, well, don't just sit there, speak against it. You
Name
know
the
I
bigot.
do that enough as it is.
Yeah, and it's your podcast and it's just talking, so name.
And to be honest with you guys, a lot of my friends or people that I know feel similarly to me, but they don't speak out against it because it's hard to. Why are you going to speak
Literally just say the words right now. You're rich as fuck.
against someone with dozens of thousands of followers and stans that are going to go against you and
So, you have dozens of thousands of fans.
shit down your throat? It's it's almost like there's no point expressing your opinion to people that you're never going to change anyways, you know? And frankly, a lot of
Then don't express it to them. You're saying it to an audience of people who have come to watch your podcast. You've got a bajillion sycophants who you could radicalize to be anti-that. Note, she's saying, oh, it's useless for me to say this, but what the people she's speaking out against say turns their audience into a force that can control everyone. Why can't what she says do that?
them are prepubescent little boys that just need to go through puberty and then they'll figure it out. You know, like, I don't want
What?
that demographic. I don't want to take responsibility for them. But it's also, it hurts my brain to see other streamers almost put such bad ideas into their minds.
She doesn't want to speak out against it because those people's minds will never be changed. Also, those people, by the way, are prepubescent children who are super easily molded. Stay consistent across 2 sentences challenge with Pokimane. Instantly failed.
Anyways, all in all, this is just to say there are a lot of things within this community and industry that I don't agree with. And as someone who has been fortunate enough to grow my personal followership? I don't know what to call it. My personal communities on many
My own following. It's not personal. Professional following.
different platforms, I find myself enjoying my time nowadays a lot more on these other platforms than on Twitch because of a lot of these reasons. And that really sucks to say.
I'm not
because
buying your
I
fucking
still
cookies.
love
Stop using
Twitch
that intonation.
So much. Like, I have so much love for. Oh, I love gaming. I'm gonna be gaming until I'm literally 80 in a rocking chair playing TFT on my phone. Like, I will forever have so much love for gaming.
I love gaming. I love video games. DAE love video games. Upvote to the left. So heckin' true. I love when Mario jumps.
But yeah, Twitch and streaming and the surrounding communities around that, that is, to me, not the sole representation of gaming. And that becomes very clear once you go to maybe YouTube and see all of these amazing Let's Plays or other live streamers, or you go to TikTok and you see so much cute, cozy gaming content or other kinds of gaming content. Like, it seems like there's this plethora of people who have similar interests as me, and they're just not all on Twitch. And it sucks to feel like, oh, I cannot reach these people that I would love to have.
Why can't I reach these kids
in my community if I remain on Twitch? Part of me really wanted to structure this whole thing, but I think I'm just gonna spitball it because I have so many thoughts and feelings that I think it'll make sense if I just get to vent about it all. All right. I think another thing that I didn't love about this industry is
she so scared of the ruthless businesswoman meme that she can't have her multi-streaming be seen as a way to maximize audience?
I felt like I got to the point where I started feeling like, especially.
Oh, I'm not doing it just to absolutely maximize numbers. It's because I want a diverse collection of communities. I need to reach gaming's true form. It's not because I want the maximum number of viewers. Guys, I multi-stream, not because it make number go up in my overall analytics, okay? I do it because I need. Twitch only has one fragment of gaming's true soul. Twitch is Din's fire, okay? YouTube is Naryu's blessing, or whatever the hell it's called. So I have two of the goddesses' blessings now by multi-streaming. That's why I do it, not to maximize raw numbers, okay?
Post-pandemic and it going back to feeling very, very male-dominated, I felt like, wow, Again, I'm someone who is very much an optimizer. I love analytics. I love data. I love
Okay.
thinking like that. I studied engineering. That's just how my brain works. And sometimes I wish it didn't, and I wish it would shut the fuck up. But that's how it works. But maybe that's interesting for you guys to hear because I have a typically
I heard heroin can shut the voices up.
more
YouTube's going really well, to be honest, much better than I thought it would.
business minded mindset than most. But yeah, I started feeling like one of the only ways to be successful in this industry or become more successful in this
Okay.
industry
Is
to appeal to more guys. And that doesn't have to be a bad thing. I love men. Okay, there are a lot of great men, but
there are plenty of good men. There are dozens of acceptable penis people on this planet.
we both know some of the guys in this industry not so great. And frankly, I feel like at this point in my career, if you're a girly pop and you're on Twitch, you know me and I love you, you know? And so I'm not gonna grow by maybe doing some of the things that I want to do. I can only grow by appealing perhaps more to the guys left in the industry. And I don't really want to.
This sounds delusional, I think. Unless... Has she said what the thing she wants to do is? Because you can absolutely pop off by appealing to women online. But I don't think Pokimane does appeal to women. She's gone down that path. Like, she didn't ever have to appeal to dudes. But she does. Is she going to give examples of what she'd rather do and how that would draw in a female audience?
Do that, because some of them I don't really agree with. Please don't assume anything by what I'm saying, aside from what I'm saying. Oh God. But don't assume that what you think I'm saying is what I'm actually saying. Am I saying what I mean to say? Whatever. So, I just didn't love that idea, and I saw it very frequently. It started feeling like a limitation, okay? Maybe...
Who's a big streamer with women? She needs to be more like Matt Rife.
A better way to say this is that I felt like I hit my...
At the risk of sounding immensely sexist, she needs to do makeup content if she wants women. She needs to do true crime makeup. She needs to become a man who is muscular but not too muscular and isn't hypermasculine, has a bit of that feminine edge.
My saturation point on Twitch. Like, if you're on Twitch or in the streaming Twitch bubble, you know me. And if you fuck with me, you probably follow me or watch my stuff, which I appreciate so much, and I fuck with you too. And if you don't, you probably hate my guts and don't wipe your ass. Maybe you wipe your ass, but I feel like you probably don't. That's just my personal opinion. Anyways. And if you don't like me, like, you just don't like
me. Pokimane, you can't even reach your ass. It's too thick. You can't get the paper in there.
Me, right? But I'm not going to continue and further my career by staying on Twitch. The only way that I can grow my viewership on Twitch is by streaming more or appealing to people that I might not want to appeal to. That's how.
But you already appeal to men. If your audience is men, you already appeal to men. What do you mean? Do you mean you were? Do you mean like you think the only way to? Is she trying to present an image where she has to go like Andrew Tate red pill to get more viewers on Twitch? Because that's retarded.
I started personally feeling I don't ever want to come off as though me talking about some of these downsides equals me not being grateful. I think we should leave room for ourselves and others to be able to do both of those things, okay? We can talk about the downsides of something without necessarily being ungrateful for it. So I want to preface with my gratitude, especially the financial security that those contracts brought me, especially the status that those contracts brought me, and the ways that it has helped my career, those are all great, great, great. However, there have been some downsides to becoming the quote-unquote Twitch
Queen
girl.
of Twitch? Oh, Twitch
which
girl.
This exclusivity contract has kind of made me. So, yes, it has helped me in a lot of ways, but, you know, being the Twitch girl...
This isn't... Do people find this insightful? Yes, there's a cost associated with the exclusivity. That's why they pay you to be exclusive. That's why they don't expect you to do it for free. Opportunity cost. This is face value immediately apparent to anyone who even hears about the idea of an exclusivity deal. This isn't insight. Why even...
Or being the face of Twitch, which I don't feel I am, but some people might describe me as. I would say, you know, one of the faces
You're a
of
face
Twitch.
of Twitch.
There have
Yeah,
been
for
lots of
sure.
great upsides to that.
I'm glad she said that, because I was going to flip if she tried to play...
But so many downsides. For starters, there are a lot of Twitch-related things that I just don't agree with. I don't. And we'll get into that. One, it was sometimes hard to speak out against these things. But two, I felt like because some people hated Twitch, they hated me.
Yes, you tied yourself to Twitch. So yeah, of course. You tied yourself to Twitch. Yes.
Because I represented Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
But me and Twitch, hello, we're two separate things.
But you were very closely tied to it. Especially given you signed a deal for exclusivity and took money from them directly. True, you are not Twitch. You had a very close association with Twitch, though.
So, wow, did I feel like I got a lot of hate? And hey, this is not to say, oh my god, all the hate that I get is undeserved. No, I say some shit and people don't like the shit. That just is what it is. But I did very much feel like the tone that people came at me with, the energy that people came at me with, and the way that people...
Dark energy. Negative energy. They were summoning undead to attack her.
...viewed me. A lot of that was because I was dubbed the Twitch girl and because of my affiliation with Twitch. And I'm so sorry we're breaking up now. I'm gonna still be on sometimes, though. But you know... But yes, me and Twitch, we are not the same thing, okay? They are a whole-ass corporation, and I am just a girly pop trying to live another day. So let's talk about all of the things that I disagree with Twitch on. Woo! Woo! And I have...
Not even a brand, just a human being and nothing more.
I've been outspoken about, like, the very, very...
Damn. Pokimane hasn't even incorporated. She doesn't have an LLC or anything with how much she's making. And
important things in the past, but frankly,
her
I
business
just haven't
ventures
really, like, dogpiled on Twitch because one, enough people do that shit, and two, well, I had a contract with them and I did not want them to be mad, but they could be mad now. No, I'm kidding, okay? I know there's gonna be Twitch people listening to this. I still have love for you guys. I'm just trying to be a little bit more honest and be more myself and talk about some stuff, okay? Now that I can. Let's start with Twitch.
right.
As a company is respectfully really messy. Y'all are messy.
Sure.
And it's okay. I'm a little messy too. But Twitch is really, really, really messy. Let's just start with, you guys saw that stuff?
How young is her audience? Because this is Sesame Street level content.
A couple or a few weeks ago where, like, they made nudity not against terms of service, or maybe artistic nudity wasn't against the terms of service. And I'm not saying that that was a good or bad decision. I don't even know enough of the details to have an opinion.
Okay. Thoughts discarded. Next topic. What do you mean?
But my point is more so, they allowed something in the terms of service, which kind of then blew up in their faces, and then they retracted that like a week later. And I feel like these kinds of changes, and even the way that they go about expressing their changes to their terms of service, messy, messy, messy.
I'd rather they do that than have no changes. If we had to like, how bad is that? If I was forced into a hypothetical where it was like Twitch will make explosive changes that they potentially revert, or Twitch never makes any changes. I'd rather the explosive changes. And I think how small the change can be and become explosive, most changes are going to have potential to need to have them roll it back. Also, it was really fucking funny when the website became cartoon dog cocks for a couple days. That was pretty funny, so cool. I don't really see that as a reason to leave the platform. It's just funny, and then they undid it, so who gives a fuck? I don't know.
They'd be tweeting shit and then deleting it and then correcting and then retweeting and then they make a change and then take it back and then do a backflip and then do a sideways cartwheel. How are you guys going through these processes? Me no comprendo. Like, is there not an infrastructure? And I get it. You used to be maybe like a smaller company, but you've been a corporation for a minute, and now you're owned by Amazon. And again, as someone who was very, very closely affiliated with Twitch, just my personal opinion, I'm not leaking anything by saying this, I feel like although Amazon funds Twitch, sometimes I wish that they were doing a little bit more for the general infrastructure of Twitch, as well as Twitch's...
You mean like internal decision-making infrastructure? You don't mean I wish Amazon gave them better servers so they wouldn't make bad TOS decisions.
PR.
I feel like when we're talking about Amazon's connection to Twitch, referring to infrastructure to mean anything other than servers is a bad choice of, anything other than the service. The actual delivery of the streams is a bad move, and you should use a different word.
Like the way that Twitch comports itself and is seen publicly. And frankly, I feel like Amazon must have insane pull and networking capabilities. Why don't you position Twitch as a cooler company? Why don't you put it in more mainstream eyes instead of...
There's this thing called a Prime sub. It incentivizes anyone who fucking uses Amazon to check out Twitch.
Kind of having it the way that it is? I don't know. That's my personal take. I'm sure there might be reasons, but
Partnerships with what? I'm not a sport ball man. Is it NHL partnership? They have sports partnerships where you can watch sports live on Twitch. They got Ninja was there doing the fucking floss at some major event, whatever. I don't know.
I, throughout my contracts, would always beg Twitch to do certain things, and they wouldn't. Or to help me make certain things happen on Twitch, and they couldn't. Why? Couldn't tell ya, but it's depressing to see.
Certain things like what? Maybe it was stupid.
And I personally am done with Twitch's messy behavior in the sense that I'm not done with Twitch, but I'm done with being emotionally invested in the changes that this company is doing. Because you know what? Maybe they're still figuring it the frick out. I don't know. And yes, this does include Twitch bans and Twitch partnerships.
Bans are the shit that really matters, right? If they change TOS and you're like, I can do this shit now, and then they turn it back, and you're like, I can't do this shit now. That can be funny, whatever, write it. Getting banned for some bullshit, though, that does suck.
Okay. Twitch partners and bans people by a process that has many, many, many errors. And I will give them the benefit of the doubt that, hey, humans run that company and human error exists, right? But sometimes it feels like even when something becomes evident...
She's appealing to that red pill audience she said she didn't want to appeal to right now.
...clear that it is wrong.
I talked about that at the start of the stream, Zera. The suicide letter is very clearly the ramblings of a schizoid, but I have it tucked in my back pocket, awareness of that, in case more details come out.
It still takes them a hot-ass minute to do anything about it. You have people with incredible viewership getting declined partnership over and over and over and over and over. And you have people with respectfully, perhaps viewership that does not meet the guidelines required for partnership getting partnered without doing anything. And it just makes you go, what's going on up in there?
Maybe it's for diversity's sake.
I have heard some stories. Maybe for another day. Also, Twitch
You're never going to
bans.
tell us anything.
I'm sure a lot of people want.
Wait, that's kind of red pill appeals, because that all I can think that she's alluding to is sexual favors to Twitch staff, because that's normally what people bring up regarding people getting benefits when it seems like they shouldn't based on their performance. That's very red pill. This is extremely manosphere friendly content. I don't know what she's talking about not wanting to appeal to that.
Me to talk a little bit more about this, so let's. Twitch bans can also be all over the fucking place. Yep, it's true.
This is intensely manosphere red pill favorable content. Let's see where she goes with it.
Why? Again, probably human error. You have different people looking at the same problem, and this person goes, yeah, no, I think that's worth a ban, and someone else goes, yeah, no, I don't. Is that okay? No, because at the end of the day, who loses out? The creator. At the very least, I think in instances where you're like, hey, 1 for 1, maybe.
It's not okay because the creator loses out. Is that convincing? Is that what makes it not okay? I mean, making it an unappealing platform, making the platform less appealing.
If this is not okay, maybe it shouldn't be okay across the board. Maybe people at Twitch should do something about that. But I will also say this doesn't apply to dumb shit, okay? I know someone stupid out there is going to be like, one time you showed a wee-wee accidentally on stream. Why didn't you get banned? But someone else showed a wee-wee and they got banned.
Wouldn't this be like a prime neutral example of why is it inconsistent?
Probably because it's their 20th time.
Like who? What is this hypothetical? Sorry, she likes the idea that showing cocks on stream should be down to how many times you do it?
Showing a wee-wee on stream, and I accidentally did it once by clicking a link that I shouldn't have clicked. Shit happens. Wee-wees happen. But also the rate at which the wee-wee happens also matters. Okay, so some of you guys, when you talk about...
The bans are too inconsistent. There's too much room for human error. Bans based on showing cocks, she suggests, should not just be about how many times you show cocks, but specifically the rate at which you show cocks.
Twitch bans, you do it kind of stupidly, but is there a point there underlying somewhere? Maybe. All right, yes, there is. And I know some of you guys are going to ask, oh my god, the Gideon ban, la 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 la.
What's Gideon?
Listen, Gideon hate rated, is that even how you say his name? Gideon. Sorry, I mispronounced it.
Hate raid. We have a name. Gideon hate rated.
He hate rated me like 2 years ago. I don't even know when. And he got banned for that hate raid. And if you guys don't know what a hate raid is, it's when you send all of your viewers to someone else's stream to shit on them. So, you know, I had his whole audience shitting on me while I was playing Valorant, okay?
So... I get if it's against TOS. I'm sure it is. Okay. Oh no! Someone sent thousands of people to watch my stream. No!
I literally did nothing, minding my own business, gaming with my friends, and all of his viewers were, you know, not saying the nicest things. I will say though,
if someone hate raids me and gets banned, I will try to get you unbanned. Especially if you bring me thousands of viewers.
He apologized. Me and him cleared the air. We have no beef. We've even texted recently. Like, all is well between us. Okay?
Okay.
But some people are going to say, okay, for starters, for those who are saying, you got him banned. He did the thing. Respectfully, he got himself banned. But I personally...
But did you intervene, and would you have been banned if you didn't? She says I personally. Maybe she's saying I didn't ask for anything.
At this point, I don't care if he gets unbanned. I am not telling Twitch to keep him banned. I'm not doing any of that. So if he got unbanned, I wouldn't be upset about it at all. But again, Twitch works by some magic that I don't understand.
Yeah, but did you ask for him to be banned to begin with? Like, did you report him or go to a contact about him to begin with? And he may potentially have not been banned if you had. Because you have to know, and she has to understand, that there is behavior that isn't inherently disallowed by Twitch, but can catch you trouble if the person it involves complains.
Also, genuinely, I don't. Why haven't they unbanned him? I don't know. Who makes these decisions? I don't know. Like, it's a little kooky crazy. I wish I could tell you guys more, but I think the most I could tell you guys is for these huge creators, I think these decisions are made on a higher executive level.
Yeah, Twitch would be fucking insane if not. Yes, no shit, the biggest creators' issues are dealt with at a higher level. Judgment is made of them at a higher level because the faces of Twitch, the people who are bound up most with Twitch's image, you have to decide carefully how you're going to deal with them. Maybe you want to come down on them more severely because they're a face of Twitch and go like, yep, nothing to do with us. Or maybe clamping on them would draw too much attention to something. You've got to be careful. Would it hurt the site? Would it not? Of course, no shit.
Like, they have a different group of people that they ask about these things, maybe even the CEO, before they make a decision.
Yes,
but
of
for
course,
other
obviously.
creators, it's probably just handled by some kind of Twitch moderation. Like,
yeah, there are literally thousands of partners and thousands of people just using Twitch. You're not going to have the CEO bringing down the hammer of God for every single infraction or question. Obviously not. This is also kind of Manosphere Red Pill friendly content, by the way.
Some employee at Twitch who's like, oh, this is against the terms of service and this isn't. And that's maybe why you see inconsistency. Okay, I think we've talked about that enough. Ultimately, I just disagree with Twitch on a lot of the things that they do, a lot of the things that they allow, a lot of the...
Sorry, the biggest streamers on the platform, their infractions or decisions made regarding them being made by people at a higher level in the corporate structure. You disagree with that?
Ways
Is that what we're to
themselves
take?
as a company and how they establish the community that they have. But I still have a lot of love for the employees there. I think a lot of people there are just doing their best, and I get it.
But their best is trash.
I will also say that at the end of the day, Twitch is a company, okay? It is a company that obviously its primary goal is to make money. And therefore, its primary goal is not aligned with what my primary goal is, which for me, I care a lot.
That doesn't necessarily have to be true. It can synergize.
More about like quality of viewership, diversity of viewership.
Quality and diversity of viewership. Quality of viewership. I care about the quality of the people watching me. What, like IQ? Like, what do you mean? You only want to be watched by people who have never stolen? Like, what do you want? What do you mean?
Safety for content creators. Their priority is making money. My priority is making a cool, safe environment.
Or do you mean quality of viewership, like people who have a lot of expendable income so they can buy overpriced cookies? In which case, I'd say that lines up with making a profit, right?
And community for many, many, many people. I think there are a lot of problems that minorities on Twitch still face and that I wish they could do more about. I do think they try, and I appreciate that a ton.
Did you know that when I run a channel poll, like when I do a vote for you to pick which game I'm going to play next from a selection of games I have in mind, if you aren't white, Twitch only counts your vote as being 3/5.
Really do give them credit for that. But girl, it's 2024. We still got so many of these damn problems. Like when I tell you there are people, viewers on Twitch who harass and stalk streamers to no end, who have made...
Stalk to no end? Involve the police.
Thousands of accounts, thousands of accounts, and you can send this information for years to Twitch. They can't do a thing about it. They're not going to do a thing about it because they don't do IP bans.
Is that... That, at least for a while, that wasn't true. You can absolutely... I am able to ban someone and say to Twitch, also auto-ban anyone who appears to be this person. You can also get Twitch to warn you if someone looks like they're someone else, and it will list all the accounts associated with that IP next to their name. I think she's talking bullshit. My issue with that system is I don't trust it to actually be accurate. But she doesn't have that concern if she doesn't care about getting false flags.
And every single time that I go to Twitch HQ, I tell them the same fucking stuff. The same stuff for 4 years. And they will make a...
If someone is a genuine threat and stalking you, I don't think an IP ban prevents stalking. Stalking as well. What do we mean? Do we mean looking at your stream? Absurd. Absurd. No, Twitch absolutely can't stop that, even with the strongest IP ban in the world.
Small advancement here and there. God bless them for that. But at this point in my life and career, and with my accessibility to so many different platforms, sometimes I just look at Twitch.
Sorry as well, does she think she's getting rid of a person on YouTube? Oh no, she's gonna have a bad time.
And I'm like, why would you be my platform of choice? If I got options, I got options. No, I'm kidding. Well, at the end of the day, I still loved them. Love them. And loved them for what we've done and accomplished together. And don't you haters think I'm leaving. I'm always going to be a part of this damn here community. And I will always be striving for and encouraging the things that I believe in. And I'm always...
No, you won't. You literally spent like 20 minutes telling us you don't do that because it's too much trouble. What do you mean?
Always have a big ass mouth. A blah, 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 blah. That's why I got a podcast.
I will always have a big ass.
But I'll just be spreading myself out a little bit. And I am so excited to, for the first time ever, stream on YouTube, stream on TikTok, stream on Instagram. I could literally sit on Instagram and talk shit for an hour now, and I've never been able to do that before. Can you believe that? I've never ever been able to do that before. I could only do like maybe a 5-minute stream before.
Yeah, why not?
Or my
no,
streams,
my bank
aside
account.
From that, I was contractually and legally not allowed to do that. Quick side.
Yeah, in return for money.
Side note.
I will never feel sorry for you regarding that. With the stop.
That shit crazy. That happened with a Twitch employee that I haven't fully publicized yet.
What do they do?
But now that my contract is over, I am considering doing that in another soon podcast episode. But I didn't talk about it at the time, frankly, because I feel like Twitch gets enough negative PR and I didn't want to add to that. And again, I had a close working relationship with them and it just didn't feel like the right time. But now that it happened a while ago.
How severe is it then?
Is it going to be a story, but it would make for a good story. I want to end this specific section.
Because if it isn't,
one little thing, and then we're going to move on to talking about other platforms and, what's in the future for me.
One more Twitch thing, and then I'm done.
Before I end, I just want to ultimately say a lot of Twitch-related stuff is corny, okay? It's corny, and...
Sesame Street-ass Nicki Minaj fake voicing gonna call other shit corny? Stop.
It's horny. Like, those are two of the primary adjectives I would use to describe a lot of the shit that I don't agree with that I see in this industry. And this is coming from a Twitch streamer, right? Well, not exclusive for long, and that's one of the reasons that I don't want to be exclusive with Twitch anymore. Like, it's corny. Like, I cannot believe people are saying this stuff and it's normalized. Bigotry, corny. Sexism, corny. And it's horny. And listen, there's nothing wrong.
Corny, horny sexism.
With being horny.
What?
We're all human beings. But some of the ways that people go about it really makes me want to question things. And some of the ways people project this horniness onto you, me no gusta, okay? Just putting that out there.
Welcome to putting your image online. Would you specify? Because otherwise it's like, welcome to having your image online.
I think that's all.
You'd see what I have to deal with. Chat, you sick freaks. She gets away with saying so little, being so vague, and then demanding that you don't read anything into it. Absurd. Absurd. Less isn't more. More is more. You've been shortchanged. Right. The hell are we doing? We're going to play some trash games now. Did we ever get to hear what it is she doesn't want to do that she feels she'd have to do to increase her viewership, to appeal to men? What doesn't she want to do? So what doesn't Pokimane like at Twitch? I don't even know. I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose my mind. What did she say? I just listened to her and responded to what she was saying and talked about what she was saying for like 40 minutes. What did she say? Cutler began his unintentional exposure experiments within the Guatemalan army. He infected prostitutes and then had them have sex with the men he wanted to study. The soldiers were never informed. Wait, is this the contract Twitch offered Pokimane?